Hey everybody, welcome back to Sith Council. If you didn't know already, Sith Council is no longer on a Sith Council podcast feed. It's on the Big Thing podcast feed, so make sure that you are subscribed to that if you take this show in podcast form. So today we have a lot of questions that we are going to get through the audience. And I, by the way, this morning I'd watched Moon Knight, and I had to get the spoiler review out. So the prep to the show, I wasn't able to take all the screenshots. I'm going to go through all the shots from Twitter and YouTube and everything where I posted it, Facebook obviously, but I'm not going to be able to display the questions, so I'll just read your names out when we do it. But we have a lot of questions today, and we're getting so close. We're getting so close to Obi-Wan. There's not a lot of stories really going on, so it's going to be pretty heavy on myself, Steph, and Mike just going over these questions. But it is Sith Council. It is time to go. Let's do it.
I can feel your anger. It gives you focus. Makes you stronger.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Sith Council. Got the crew. Oh, we got blurry face. Hold on.
What's wrong? Am I too far back?
No, the camera can't detect your face.
What?
Too much oogle.
That's my chest.
Oh, yeah. Hi, Poppy.
Hi, Poppy.
There you go. So, like I said, it was a little rush today, but nonetheless, we're here. And we got a lot going on the show.
Yeah.
And I think we're so close to Obi-Wan. It's like right around the corner. It's nuts. Yeah. How it's pretty nuts. But the other news, I guess, is that I'm pretty confident that the three of us will be at Celebration now. I'm pretty confident. I'm gonna follow up at the end of this, but it looks like we won't be doing a panel.
Would you say the odds are 3,720 to 1?
Never tell me the odds.
There you
Never
go.
tell me the odds. Did you guys see the pictures, the new Obi-Wan pictures that came out?
I did, yeah.
Steph, did you see them?
No.
The blue robe, and he's got the kind of
it was from Total Film. There were three of them. There was one where he's on Tatooine and he's walking around in that robe Mike was just talking about. There's one where he's on that new planet, kind of doing the detective work.
So that's not Coruscant.
No,
we don't think it's not Coruscant.
No, it's not Coruscant.
Okay, then yeah.
And then the third was the Inquisitor, whose head looks a little better.
Oh, did they do a little?
I think so. I don't care.
Little Sonic remake.
Oh yeah, it's a good one.
I don't care.
I don't care either. I have no attachment to that.
I don't care. It's like for people who are like, it's not. It doesn't look like it did.
But I'll say this: in their not defense, but like Cad Bane, except for the coloring,
different.
Look pretty similar though. That guy looks noticeably. And again, I know like Dooku's got that long face too, so I don't know if it's just the style.
They could have made it look.
Yeah, they could have made him a little bit.
If they wanted to, but they changed it up a little bit. I don't care as long as the character is consistent and it doesn't look like so radically different.
Yeah.
What do I care?
I mean, for me, the only thing was, and again, I'm not as diehard, is like we've seen that species in
Revenge of the Sith,
and they had the long heads, so it's like.
But dude,
I get it. I know.
How many people do you know have a big fat head and some have skinny heads in human beings?
We all got big fat heads. Except you got a small head.
Yeah, but it's round, and round faces matter too. So I'd like to see some of that on the Star Wars screen.
That's right. Round heads. Let's get the round heads.
I need to see big cheeks, please.
Well, that can be determined a lot of different ways.
Big cheeks too.
Yeah, see, I knew you were going to go there.
There we go.
That's why I tried to hit it first.
Hi, Poppy.
Anything else? Hayden Christensen actually talked a lot. Now, Obi-Wan, McGregor, Christensen, and Deborah Chow address.
Obi-Wan McGregor.
Obi-Wan McGregor, yeah. Obi-Wan Kenobi. McGregor, Christensen, Deborah Chow address how the series might impact lines from A New Hope. When I left you, I was but the learner, now I am the master. That's the one everybody was really curious about, right?
Yes, indeed.
So let's see if they address that. That iconic line from A New Hope has been at the center of a lot of fan debate over what a new meaning between Obi-Wan and Vader in the upcoming show would mean for their final duel in Episode 4. It's a complicated scenario, but it sounds like those involved are aware of how important it is to make sense of it all. Entertainment Weekly discussed the matter with McGregor, Christensen, and Deborah Chow. We already knew the context of the line that it's going to change entirely. It's been a foregone conclusion for a while. It's been teased that we're going to be getting the rematch of the century. However, McGregor and Christensen aren't willing to give up the goods just yet. When asked whether Mustafar would be the last meeting between the two Star Wars icons before A New Hope, the duo said, McGregor said maybe. Oh, Christensen said maybe, and McGregor said maybe it's fun. It's very clever how these threads are created. It's like working backwards and forwards at the same time for the writers and Deborah. Chow, meanwhile, is very cognizant of properly filling in the gaps between Revenge of the Sith and A New Hope. There is an opportunity to play with how we understand the movies, but Chow knows she can't waver too much. it was definitely something that we were very mindful of. And for me, taking on George Lucas's legacy, it's an honor to take these characters and be able to tell a new story with them. So I wanted to be very respectful to what exists and not change anything that George intended originally or anything like that. Of course, when breaking a new story, you can't help but impact what has already come or is to come. Obviously, there is room for interpretation and telling the story that they did have these 20 years, and obviously something happened in between these 20 years, and there's some things from our series that there's going to be a little bit more room for interpretation on. The reinterpretation could come in the form of repositioning the quote from A New Hope and helping it align better with the one from Return of the Jedi. During their meeting on Endor, Obi-Wan wants to thought as you do. That's the one that I've always been painting, you know?
Right.
At one point during their, Obi-Wan gave the impression that he still sees good. He doesn't, though. Hold on. At no point during their
yes,
duel,
say
right, does he? It's when
he left him there.
It's when Padme says it to him. Deborah Chow is unbelievable. What an amazing director. This is from Ewan McGregor, and what an amazing leader she is. It's so great working with her. Just so exciting. She has such quiet authority, and she's really, really on it. She knows this world backwards and inside out, and there was never a moment where she didn't know exactly what was going on, what she wanted, what she needed. It was brilliant working with her. He went on to talk about how she approached the show as a way to blend both the prequel and original trilogies together. That's awesome. Something that really shows on new planets like Dayu. I think that's the one, Mike, that
the new one we're talking about. Yeah.
For her in the pre-production process, making all that work and taking these things on set in 1975 and linking it to what we saw in 2003 and making it all work, it's a really interesting prospect, and they did such an amazing job with it. I liked everything I heard there.
Has anything been said that you haven't liked? And I don't mean you, just you personally. I just mean you guys in general.
About Obi-Wan?
I don't think there's anything that's come out that I've been like, that strikes me the wrong chord. I don't know about this. Nothing.
Yeah, I don't think so. Deborah Chow being one of the first announcements was such a good call. And if there's one thing my people do, it's research and executing the research. And I think you needed to do that for this role, because specifically with Obi-Wan, that has a huge past, but then you're also filling in gaps and you're also creating a new way that we see Obi-Wan and the characters involved. So it's a mix up of the past, present, and the future. And she's the perfect person to do it. But no, I haven't really heard one thing or seen one thing that I'm like, no, I'm kind of worried about that. Which I guess that kind of worries me, maybe.
I don't know.
Yeah, it's there's. I want to see how they blend. What I am worried about, and it has nothing to do with who the character is. Someone asked me last week, do I think that it's going to be, whether it's the Inquisitor himself, Reva, any of the characters, right? Mm-hmm. I don't want this to be their show. I want this to be Obi-Wan's
I see what you're
show.
saying. Yeah, I see what you're saying. Yeah.
And
they should be in service of Obi-Wan.
They wind up getting their own spin-off shows, and there's an Inquisitor show, there's an Inquisitor show, there's a Reva show, great, but let's not make it their show. I don't think we're going to.
I don't think so.
But that's what someone asked you. I think it's going to be that I have no problem with those characters being focused on heavily and introducing us to them to learn them more, but let's not make it their show.
Yeah.
Like that's the only thing that I would be like, uh-oh. And I haven't seen anything that would make me believe that's the case. It seems like it's going to be those meetings between, they're going to be very aware with Hayden and you, and that we want to see that. And there's some other stuff. Someone asked Hayden Christensen if Vader was going to be in it. I mean,
Earl Jones.
Earl Jones, and he said no comment.
Yeah, well then he is.
That doesn't mean that.
Come on now.
I still think it might be time to try to find somebody new. You can find someone that sounds like a younger version of him.
Sounds blasphemy.
I know it does.
Yeah,
and
I don't think they're going
blasphemy.
to.
When I say that, people don't like it all the time, but
he's still around, so
he's 90. He's 92 years old.
Is he really?
Something like that. And
you don't need to do anything but talk. You don't have to. He's not up on set and stuff.
I'm not talking about that.
You're looking for the future.
No, I'm talking about because it sounds like a 92-year-old man. It doesn't sound like this is supposed to be 10 years before.
I don't know, you sound like you did back in those frat house days when you were just a
100% didn't. And you go back and again, that's only 20 years removed,
right?
Not 50 years removed. Like,
Can't they do anything digitally? You think with his voice?
I don't want them to do that thing they did with Mark Hamill. Get rid of that stupid thing. What they've been doing, Mark Hamill, the computer animated voice.
Take my voice and synthesize
terrible
sound that you are Yoda.
It's terrible. There's so many voice actors here that can sound like him.
All right, fair enough. Who does it? Did he always do it for Clone Wars? Did Earl Jones, or is it Tom
Rebels,
Kane?
Rebels, you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, he did it for Rebels.
Did he? Okay.
He did. And it worked for Rebels, but it wasn't. I don't know how heavy it was, but Rogue One, it was clear as day.
It didn't bother me in Rogue One.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well,
You should have to choke on your aspirations.
It was so good.
Deborah Chow debunks this Darth Maul thing.
Can we get rid of the Maul nonsense?
I knew that was crap. It made
So this is a new planet because I've always been in the assumption, and again, I'm trying to not go too deep into spoiler territory with reveals because I want to go into this blind as much as I can.
right.
So this is not Coruscant. I love that.
No, it's not.
I love that it looked because this looked like those lower levels of Coruscant that we always hear about and see, every now and then.
Total
They
film
said
got-
it's a Tokyo type city, right?
Yeah.
I think that's what the description
maybe
was.
a little Blade Runner influenced, as it were. Nice.
Total Film got some great stuff here. They were talking to Ewan McGregor, and he said he had never had a confrontation against Darth Vader, despite playing Obi-Wan Kenobi in 3 different movies. I mean, he fought Vader, but not the physical form Vader. So he said, "I've never met Vader. I had rehearsed the scene with Vader, but not with the helmet on or anything. When we came to do the scene, they shouted action. he had to come from behind me. I turned around. I said, "Is fucking Darth Vader coming at me?" I was like 6 again. I never acted into Vader's helmet. I never looked at him in the eye. He then added that while filming that scene, he was scared. He didn't even have to act. It scared the shit out of me. I'm not joking. It gave me a proper jolt of absolute fear. I was like, oh my God, that's not acting. That's real. I'm really, truly frightened now. And the same thing would happen with the stormtroopers. I worked with clone troopers before, and a lot of them were CGI. I never worked with stormtroopers. And again, I was like 7 years old. Because when you're actually faced with a stormtrooper with a blaster, it's like beep hell.
What's that word?
Yeah, there you go. It's like actual childhood memories of being scared. That's how deeply. I realized that for this show, I got to. Like, there are kids that listen to the show. I got to be careful.
You do.
That's how deeply it's in us. I've acted for 30 years, and I've never been genuinely frightened when I'm actually acting frightened. But I had moments on this where I was quite scary. It's so funny. Yeah.
Just conjuring that up, seeing him, Ewan McGregor Obi-Wan.
Yeah, scared?
No, not that, but like with stormtroopers.
Yeah,
and Vader.
I know.
That's pretty awesome.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah,
because now thinking about it, okay, we've seen this all the time. We see it whether it's in animated or comic books or whatever. So I've seen Obi-Wan with stormtroopers and stuff.
Yeah,
but I've never seen the actor.
Here's that shot
with that thing.
You can
like,
look at the monitor. That's the shot of him on that.
Yeah.
Oh, that looks real. Yeah, I was always in the assumption that's the lower levels of Coruscant, but you're right. It has a nice Tokyo vibe to it.
Oh, yeah,
that looks awesome.
Yeah.
And you know what's crazy to me? I'll bet that's all the volume.
No, not all of it. Maybe, I don't know.
Well, the actors on the ground, they're like that phone booth thing.
You're probably right.
But all this back stuff,
you're probably right.
It's incredible.
It's amazing.
You're probably right.
Incredible to me.
So and then they asked asked Deborah Chow about Darth Maul, and he said, as long as I've been involved, we've never had Darth Maul in it of any kind. Dave Filoni did a beautiful job of telling that story already.
Yeah, facts.
Yeah, done.
We've been saying that forever. Darth Maul has no business being in this show. Of course, she's referring to the Star Wars Rebels Season 3 arc with Maul went against and was defeated in combat by Obi-Wan. In the series, it said that the two haven't seen each other in a long time, that Maul had been looking for the Jedi in hiding for many years. Miguel had to have written this. He had to have written this.
Now, are we getting we're getting 2 episodes right off the bat, right, for this? I think because they moved it back a few days, but then they said, we're going to give you 2 episodes.
Yeah, they're giving you 2 episodes. But they are going to go back to Wednesday. It wasn't Miguel. Of course it was. He's the best. So Wednesdays, I think they're gonna start it on
Friday,
and then after that it goes back to Wednesdays.
I wonder if they did that because it's the start of the weekend. More people can watch it. Kids can watch it. They're not getting up for school. I wonder if that is
like
think
a
about
movie.
it.
I don't know. I still think it's strange though that they put it on that Friday for a lot of different reasons. One, it is going up against Stranger Things, which is only that week, really. But that's not that big of a deal. But the bigger one is there's so much news going to be coming out of Star Wars Celebration, and Star Wars Celebration is going to be in full force on that Friday.
So are they maybe like, hey, this is kicking off Star Wars, so the next day you're at the con?
That's why I thought Wednesday is what they were going to do.
Gotcha.
But that's my point. I thought that was a brilliant plan. Wednesday, it starts off. Wednesday is the unofficial first day of Celebration by putting out Obi-Wan Episode 1, and then it starts. But now,
so it's not. It's Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
Starts on Thursday.
Yeah,
and you're going to be in full swing on Thursday, and then a lot of those people that are there, you're going to be asking them to, now they got to watch it in their hotel room, and people are going to be all, which is fine. You're watching on your computers, whatever you're going to do the next day, and then there's probably going to be the panel on Friday, because Ewan McGregor is going to be at Celebration.
It's got to be a panel Saturday then.
You would assume
they won't. They would not go to the panel before.
Well, remember, it drops Friday at midnight. So you give people a chance, but I don't know. It's weird. It's weird, and they're dropping 2 episodes.
Why don't, if you're there when we're there, you stand up and ask them that? Why'd you do that?
I know. Hey, I have a question for you.
I got a question for you guys. I'm really, I want to know this. I got you all here.
Yeah. Why'd you drop it? Why'd you drop it? 2 of them last night.
There's a line of people behind you,
why'd you
all dressed up. You're like, why did you dress like?
Drop it?
Because we wanted to do. We got a review show too. We would have liked to talk to it before this.
Come on,
a little
Think
class.
Of us. Think of us.
Do you think maybe they're not dropping that much news?
At Celebration?
He thinks they're going to drop everything. He's losing his mind. Thinks they're going to drop.
What if
news,
they don't?
Their pants, everything.
You don't think they're going to? All right. So before we
Here
get
we
into
go
it,
again. Here we
let's
go
ask
with this guy.
Let's go, asshole face. So
hey, kids are listening.
that's right. Well, the kids should learn that that's a great insult to call you.
You got a great laugh, man. You got that, like, I just insulted you. Like,
Who, her?
no, you.
Oh.
No,
There it is.
Really, yeah.
It's true.
Christian laughs at his own jokes.
Yeah.
It, like, makes me laugh harder.
And it makes me
That's a
feel like,
gift.
oh, he got me. Damn it.
Well, how do you think I get myself through my days?
Laugh at my
It's
pain.
true. There's nobody in the room, and I'm just cracking jokes. I'm like Mark and Steven in Moon Knight. I'm just going back and
Oh,
forth.
here we go.
All right. So Celebration. What was that? That was a good one. It was a tee-hee-hee laugh. All right. Before we get into the questions, so Celebration, though.
Yes, you think.
Realistically, what do you think is going to happen? You think nothing? You
No,
think they're just going to parade people around in Yoda costumes all weekend?
And they're going to have the Will Hood ice cream
Yeah,
thing run.
they're gonna have a Yoda impersonation competition.
Yeah.
I'll be entering.
I would love
so
that.
that will be the premiere event. But other than that, I think that they will have a Andor trailer.
Yes.
Yes.
They're gonna have a Bad Batch trailer.
Yes.
And perhaps a Mandalorian season 3 snippet.
Agreed.
think-
That's all you think we're getting?
I think we might get some Ahsoka pictures.
Okay.
I don't think we're getting anything new announced, like TV show wise, that has not been hinted at. Like we might get a High Republic something.
So
Like the
so
cast
wait, so
comes
we
out
will
or
we won't?
something.
No, but that's all been announced. I
No,
don't
it
think
has not been announced.
High Republic has not been announced.
Nope.
We've been talking about it like it has been.
It was rumor that
Yeah.
it's coming
All
out.
right.
Nothing
That could
official.
be cool because remember when Eternals was announced?
I mean,
They brought out the whole cast.
Right.
Maybe it's something like that.
I don't think we're going to get any out of left field new show that we haven't thought about before, like
And no movies.
Vader
And
show.
you say no movies.
No, they're not.
Nah.
You're both lunatics.
After they went quiet on Patty Jenkins, and it's
Yeah.
been radio silence since then about
Yeah.
that. That was the only movie really that they had going
What
forward,
if they're
right?
like skirt,
Taika.
gotcha, Patty Jenkins
skirt,
coming out
skirt.
right now.
What's that?
Like
Skirt,
car,
skirt, yeah.
Come on, Christian knows that.
Yeah.
That's
Oh wow.
your-
Steph
skirt.
just said that if that old turd knows it, then you should know it. And he's older than I am.
Skirt, skirt.
Yeah.
Skirt, reverse.
Listen, you're nuts, the two of you.
You're full of it. You're
What do you
nuts.
think?
Taika.
What do you think?
Taika Waititi's going to
Okay.
be there.
And what's he gonna do?
He's going to announce his movie, what it finally is.
You think in the heat of so when does Love and Thunder come out?
July.
July.
Yes, I do. I think he's going to. I think he will announce it. But that's
Maybe, yeah.
as I said. I think it's a strong probability that they'll announce one movie. It is about a 40% they'll announce two, which I think would be a mistake.
What's your
yeah?
What's your thoughts on Taika always popping up now in these not random, but he's like the quirky, goofy sidekick.
Stay on target here, will you?
there we go.
All right, so this is come on, big thing, and we'll talk about that. But I think they announced that movie. Now, I am not saying that it means that any one of these movies will happen. I'm just saying they will.
So you
announce
don't
it.
think they've learned their lesson?
No.
Okay.
No.
I agree with you on that.
No, they've
I
not learned
agree
their
with you
lesson.
on that.
And there is no. There's DC movies being announced left and right. There's
Yeah.
Marvel movies being announced left and right. Star Wars is nowhere in the conversation as far as movies go.
Right.
They got to have something.
And you think that's
There's
chapping
Disney.
their butts? They got to get something out there.
They're probably getting pressure. You got to announce something because it's like that is the moneymaker for. I told you if I
We
never
know,
see
we've
another
talked.
Star Wars movie ever again, I don't care about TV shows.
But we're the minority in that.
Yes.
There are people that
Now remember, the other reason why I think there will be TV shows announced because this was supposed to happen last year.
Okay,
The
yeah.
Star Wars Celebration. It was pushed back
Okay.
again. There's a lot of news. There's a lot of development meetings that happen. There's a lot of conversation that happens leading up to within a year period. Okay, and I also use that investors meeting thing that they did online, which is still probably the most amount of news we ever got out of a Star Wars.
That was the thing where you and I, we did it digitally.
Yes.
We had up the screen of all the shows.
Yes.
That was huge.
That was huge. And that was in 2020. And
Was it that long ago?
And yeah, and the and what they announced inside of that was all these different shows.
Knights of the Old, not Knights, Rangers.
Everything.
Man,
they announced
I
a
wanted that
bunch
shit
of different
so bad.
things, and stuff that's coming out in 2023. They
Right.
announced, so that you're giving yourself a 3-year period. So I do think that at that point in time, you're going to get at least 1 or 2 new shows that are announced. For sure. Whether it's animation, I think there'll probably be an animation show that's announced also, a brand new animated series. I think that they're going to have more stuff on the video games. There's rumors that Andor is actually going to 3 seasons, not 2 now.
Well, okay, now hold on a second. I
Yeah.
read that. Didn't they say that Andor was originally plotted for 5, but they're going to
Yeah.
go to 3?
That's
That's
what they
the
said.
news I read.
That's
It was
what I
like,
read as well.
It's not 5 anymore, it's 3.
It's 3 seasons that they're going to do. But,
Yeah.
but remember that the first 2
Right.
were already shot.
Yeah.
It's like 12 episodes, but like 6 apiece. Something like that.
Okay.
From what?
So maybe there's a long form story that they realize they can wrap up in 3.
Maybe.
If they go longer, they're
Yeah.
going to be stretching.
Yeah, which
Okay.
is look if they
Smart.
if they have the confidence in it and they believe in the show and there's a plan behind it, then go for it. What the hell? I mean,
Yeah.
that's the difference with television. Who cares? Because then
Yeah.
if you don't like Andor, then you wait for Ahsoka.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think as far as you guys talking about Ahsoka, they are going to show something from Ahsoka. I
think-
that
Yeah,
You
they've
think
had
footage?
her. They've had her in studio too many times.
Yeah.
I think not to shoot something extra.
Okay.
Or at
I don't
least
know
part
about a
of it.
trailer, but I think a behind. Did you say a behind the scenes?
We're not
Steph,
getting.
is
If
that
we
what you
don't
said?
get a trailer,
Yeah, something.
Yeah,
They've
yeah.
had her in studio too much.
we haven't
think
seen
so.
Andor yet. Anything. There's no way they're showing a trailer for Ahsoka.
No, yeah,
No,
I don't
think
no,
trailer. I
no.
think behind the scenes, like they do
Like a
those-
training
Like what they
video
did
and
with
stuff.
Obi.
Yeah,
I think like a behind the scenes kind of featurette for
Yeah.
people who were there for it, where they're talking about it because they're going to have an Ahsoka panel or something, and Hayden Christensen's going to be there for it. He's talked about this not the last time he's playing Vader. That's kind of what they're hinting at. Maybe they give you something of what they're. Maybe there's a scene or something that they show between the two of them. Who knows, right? Or maybe they show.
Who
Maybe,
knows?
maybe they show first footage or first look at Thrawn live action, which is something they might do.
his
Get people-
his image in the Ahsoka.
Yeah, that'd be sick.
Yeah, but I think Andor, Mandalorian. I think we get a trailer for
now,
Mandalorian
and
also.
I also think I read, it might have been last week, that Mickelson is not playing him.
Who said that?
I thought it came out like there's either they said there's proof or the way it's lining up, he's not going to be doing it.
Oh, really?
I
The
didn't hear
Lars Mickelson.
I didn't hear that. But maybe that. But that's
Lars
but
Mickelson.
that's a
Yes.
great point, by the
Yeah.
way. That I think we find out.
Who
Well,
Thrawn
I think we
is.
find out who the cast is.
Okay,
I
yeah,
think we
I
find
can see
out
that.
the
Yeah,
cast. I think
yeah.
more so you're going to
Yeah.
get.
But again,
cast.
that's not a
He
new
was
announcement.
doing it, yeah.
In the sense of like,
that is. If it was Lars,
no.
Yeah, and-
Hold
and-
on a second.
yeah.
You
Mina Mossad,
pump the brakes.
get your hair going again. Give me the mo.
Shut your
Give me the mo.
Aladdin.
Hey Mo.
Pump the brakes over there. That's not a new project.
No,
So
true.
So I'm saying we're not getting new projects announced.
I think we get that High Republic new project. I
But
think
see,
we
we've
get
been
a new-
talking about that for so
But
long.
it doesn't matter. It doesn't
Yeah,
matter.
they haven't announced
Doesn't matter.
it.
It's not
It's
new.
not official, but we've been talking.
Yeah.
I don't think, they're going to come.
Lando would
Like,
also.
they're not suddenly going to go and coming in 2025 dash Randar. That's not going to happen.
Maybe not, but I think
If
that,
it does, I'll lose my mind.
yeah, I don't think they're going to.
No,
do that.
they're not
But I
gonna do
think,
that.
well,
And then I'm going to leave you guys and I'll go up onto the panel and I'll be like, here's our
it.
dash Randar.
But I wonder, do we know? Do we have a? I probably should have looked at. Maybe we'll do it next week. But
What?
to look at a full schedule of what
No.
they have out there. They don't have a full schedule. yet.
I
don't think so.
I
I'll
haven't
look
seen
it
it.
up.
It's all because again things have changed. COVID messed everything up.
yeah.
I'm curious now to think of, okay, so let's think back to that 2020, the Investors Day, all the things up there. What have we not seen? Rangers was canceled.
That was canceled.
We got Visions,
Well,
we got
yeah, they
Bad
said they
Batch,
weren't
we
going
got
for it.
Ahsoka, we got Andor.
Yep.
We got Ahsoka. Lando's
still, we
the
still don't know
official
what we're
Lando.
doing.
We don't know what's going on with that. Okay.
That you might get something with Lando. Maybe Donald Glover comes out.
Okay.
Maybe he doesn't.
Okay.
That's something. That's what I mean. Like there's going to be those types of announcements, and then.
But again,
I do think we'll
it's
get
been in
something
the
new.
pipeline.
I think we'll get something
Okay,
new.
okay.
Now whether it's-
you're the guru.
but
I'm
I
a
don't.
novice.
But I don't know, and I think television movies. I would put a lot of money down that they're going to announce at least one movie. I think that anybody going
But it
against that
seems
would be
like
silly.
Lord and Miller gone. Game of Thrones guys gone.
No argument on
Patty
on this
Jenkins
side.
gone.
No argument on the side. I think that
Ryan Johnson,
no matter
gone.
no matter what you announce,
Yeah.
rightfully so, every fan will have that reaction.
Right. And I think
Rightfully
maybe,
so.
And you don't think they realize that, like, hey, we really dropped the ball in this film and getting people hyped for these things.
No,
so we
because
gotta
because if the
stop.
movie's coming out in 2 years or 3 years from now, you want to
No
get
way.
that's their goal is what they want to try to do. I think that Taika's probably been working on this.
Okay,
Remember that Taika is infused in the Star Wars universe already.
Yeah, but
So that's the
Taika's
thing.
involved in everything now.
But he's not involved in a way that he just has his name on it. He's directed episodes
Yeah.
of Mandalorian. He's been a
Yeah,
character.
but
in
he's been
Mandalorian.
so busy on post-production on Love and Thunder. Like,
Right.
they're going to go up to the wire on that film, getting it ready to go.
Sure, but
so
when
he
it's-
ain't doing Star Wars right now.
But when it's over, That's the whole point.
when he's over.
The movie's going to be over in July.
Yeah,
Hold
so
on
they
now.
can announce
But he's
it.
still
That's what I
working
mean.
on that. I don't know.
But he's not.
Let me ask you this.
Yeah.
Let's to the panel here. What do you want in a Star Wars? Like you think
movie?
about the fandoms, the fans that are out there. We're loving all this TV stuff we're getting.
Sure.
What is everyone looking for in a movie? Because
I've already
nothing's
told
going to
you.
make them happy. These
told you
past
already.
3 films have not made anyone happy.
You got to stop trying to connect things to
Right.
the original.
Not a
trilogy.
damn Skywalker.
Get away
at
from
all.
that. You got to get away from
But
it.
I
because
think
it's
that's
just
a
too many
problem.
expectations. It's like that's why you want to take a shot and you want to try to do this High Republic thing. I don't care enough about it yet.
Right.
Make me care about it. That's fine. Old Republic is where I'd like to go.
What's the stuff that Laura Kelly's loving right now? That's the High Republic stuff.
the
Like
High
she's
Republic
going
stuff.
nuts on
Yeah,
that
yeah.
stuff. So I'm wondering if the fandom is that's like
Well, I think
that's
they're
what they
going
want.
there.
If you're not doing the Skywalkers and we're done with this, what do you?
It looks like they're
fans
going
want?
High Republic, whether it's the rumored series we're talking about. Oh, the other one that we didn't talk about for Celebration is Acolyte. We'll get some
Yeah.
stuff on Acolyte.
Yeah.
That's what I meant instead of High Republic. I'm sorry, I meant Acolyte.
Yeah,
that was
Acolyte.
announced.
Yes.
That was another.
That's
talking,
what I'm
the other
thinking.
one.
I'm sorry.
The one that I'm talking about, Mike,
Yeah.
is the one that rumored one about like that Stranger Things.
Right,
feel.
right,
Like
yeah.
that's
With
the
like
one.
kids,
With, like-
Mandela,
Yeah,
Stenberg.
yeah. No. Mandela Steinberg is Acolyte.
Oh,
That's Acolyte. That's Acolyte. I'm talking about that
Yes.
rumored Stranger Things one. That one I think will potentially get announced if that's the deal.
Okay.
But that goes to the point. Both of those shows,
Yeah.
High Republic. The video game that they put that trailer out to, they'll probably learn a little bit more about too. High Republic.
But is that
I
the-
think they're leaning into High Republic stuff.
there's so much.
But that
there.
video game one, is that the one that's from the beleaguered studio that a lot of people don't like because there's a lot of problems
I think so.
behind the scenes and
I
they're
think
like,
so.
don't support this game because
I
your
think
company's
so.
trash?
I think so, but I mean, how loud is that? Because it doesn't seem like
you
the
get a
trailer-
groundswelling going on something like that.
I don't know, but
it knocks
the
it.
trailer did pretty well. People looked like they were looking forward to that game pretty much so. But I don't know enough
Okay,
about
I
the rest
digress.
of it. Either way, lots to come out, and we're going to have a lot to talk about. And the goal is, as I said, Mike, myself, and Steph will be there. And the idea is that we would go
On the
see a
floor.
panel, and then we would do like a video like right afterwards and just put it right up on the channel. So
Let's do it.
That's the deal of what we're going to try
It's
to do.
3 days. It's
4, right?
4.
4 days: Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Yeah,
Man, they got some
There's a lot.
cojones to do that for 4 days.
I need.
They always have.
I need
That's-
to
they
know
always
because I have to have 4
Comic-Con does the
stellar Star Wars outfits.
Are you?
prepared.
So are you
God.
going to cosplay all 4 days?
I think so.
Yeah, that's awesome.
I haven't been before, so I might
Of
as well
course, you
go
should.
really
You-
hard in
you
it.
absolutely should. All right. So let's get into some questions here because there are some questions and there's other stuff that we could talk about that had come out, but we'll do questions. And like I said, I couldn't pull all the questions up, but I'm going to start with Facebook.
Don't tell us what you can't do. Just
your
tell us
mouth.
what you can do.
All right, here you go. Quiet, dummy. All right, so here we go. The first one. Hey, Kristian, can't wait for Obi-Wan. Would you be surprised if the series, and this is from Tom Foster, would you be surprised if the series has a similar ending to Sith with Sidious coming to Vader's rescue? We'd love to see Sidious getting seriously pissed off with Vader. Closest we've seen is in Jedi where Vader tells Palps about Luke, although that was more mild annoyance. I do think that we're going to see the Emperor. I think he's going to be one of the surprise people that show up.
You think old Ian McDermott's going to show up?
Yeah.
Yeah, that guy loves to every time he popping up.
Why not? He should be.
Why not?
He should be in it, and I think he'll be in it. I don't think that they're going to repeat the whole thing where he comes and saves him.
Nah,
again.
they've done it before.
Why are we going to do that?
No, they're going to leave. They don't need to save him.
No, I
He's
think
gonna-
Vader's going to whoop some ass.
I think Obi-Wan's going to get, but they talked about we got to get to the dialogue of when I left you.
Yeah.
So
we got to figure out how we're going to make that play. All those.
I think it'll be one of those more. I'll say this. I think it'll be more of a Red Skull, Steve Rogers. We're like for Black of the bridge and it's pulling them apart and they're being they're being drawn away from each other. Like
Yeah.
I think they'll be pulled apart.
Something
physically
like the
will,
Rey
so they
and Kylo
can't.
scene.
Yeah, something will be
Did you
pulling
see
them
Captain?
apart.
I know exactly what you're talking about. The Captain America scene where he's talking about where Red Skull and Captain America come
first
to fight each
Avenger.
other and,
Oh,
they get
yeah.
split apart.
Yeah.
That would be
Like,
great if they did
I think
something like
something
that.
sick, yeah.
outside of their control will separate them.
And it'll look, yeah, it
It'll
could
be
be.
like until
Yeah, it
next
it could be.
time.
Yeah, did you guys see there is apparently leaked footage of a battle between the two of them?
No, I wouldn't
Is
want to
it-
watch
No,
that.
I don't want to see that.
I watched it.
Come on now, what are you doing? What's the matter with you?
It's not. It's.
What's the matter
it's-
with you?
It's.
Hey.
It's not. It's first of all,
Hey.
if it's real, it's phenomenal.
What's the matter with you?
A lot. But if it's
Nah.
it's great. It's great. And that's all I'll say. So you don't have to. And enough so where Disney's not even trying to pull it because it's not. It's nothing. It's
Yeah,
what
but is it-
you expect? It's not. it's nothing.
It doesn't give away anything. It just
Or is it
shows
like
you.
that Ahsoka and Darth Maul thing where it's like I was like, no, that's a fan film.
No, this looks pretty real.
Okay,
This looks pretty real.
Nah, I'm not gonna find that.
Yeah, I don't want to. Nah.
I don't know, maybe it's wrong, but maybe it's not. But it's but it looks if it is, it looks fantastic, and it gets me pretty hyped. All right, let's get to the next one here. This is from Luke Stoddard. What news are? Oh, we just covered all this. What news you're hoping to see at Celebration? Yeah. So we see with Luke. We knew you were going to ask, and so we asked it already. Craig McRobbie, at Celebration next month, do you believe that there will be more of a push of announcing upcoming films or double down on new shows? As we kind of did.
I say double down on the shows.
Yeah. While the Disney Plus shows have been doing very well, what are your thoughts? And thank you. Well, it's okay. We knew that these questions were coming. We answered them already.
Yeah.
Julian Elliott, what is your thoughts on Obi-Wan show premiering with the first 2 episodes on May 27th? We did. Wow. Look at this. We covered all your questions. James Frizzell, what is the one thing you are each looking forward to the most in the Obi-Wan series?
Oh, that's a good question.
Yeah.
I'm looking, honestly, for me, ladies first.
Definitely the conversations between Obi and Anakin or Darth. Like, there's so much in that relationship. It's so tumultuous. And intense. And there's like a brotherhood there and a broken bond. And, you know, I live for the drama. But I think it's so deep that that's what I've been waiting for years.
Okay. Mike?
For me, I cannot wait to see Owen and Obi-Wan.
Yeah,
I want to see the two of them. We talk about
like why there's
we
that
talk
much
about the dialogue between Vader and them. I want those like, nah, he's just a crazy old man. I don't want to turn out like his father and all this. I want to see that stuff.
Well, that's what is so encouraging about that article that we just read. And this is why I'm so pumped about Deborah Chow doing it.
Yeah.
And Ewan McGregor said it. She knows this world inside and out. Like I can't tell you how much. Like I read people's faces, right? And so when I was watching the gallery series.
Yeah.
And I bring this up all the time, but then she's listening to Filoni,
the round table,
and she's listening, but you see her. She looks like a kid in a candy shop, and she's like just listening. She looks like she's like the best student in class.
Yeah.
You know, like when you see those people when you went into class and you're looking at those the people that are in class, and you're just like, oh, and they're just eating up all the information, and then you could see her becoming a master in that class.
Yeah,
and you're just watching it, and you're like, and that's why they gave her. I'm clearly not the only person that thought that because they gave her 6 episodes of the most highly anticipated Star Wars property. Don't even talk about television. Talk about Star Wars property. This movie does exactly what he's talking about. It ties together the original trilogy and the prequels, and she's aware of it. So
they haven't done
all that. That's what I'm pumped about.
They haven't done the gallery for Book of Boba yet, have they? The behind the scenes.
I don't think they will.
No,
you don't
they
think
did
so?
the behind the.
I want to know. I want to know about Steph Green. Because I think she's like Deborah Chow.
She was pretty good.
Was
she did episode 2.
2.
Yeah, I liked her episode.
Yeah.
Nobody's talking about her episode as much.
Because it just got bogged down by this isn't even Boba Fett's show.
Yeah, it did. You're right. Because
I think
that
she's
second
underrated.
episode, I agree with you. And the dude who did the Mortal Kombat episode was pretty good.
Kevin Tarnanchern.
Yeah, but
I apologize. I'm butchering
He was
that.
good too.
Yeah.
And I think, but you're not wrong. It was all the stuff that happened. Mandalorian 2.5 overshadowed everybody. Which I'm okay with, but it's
the landlord.
But when it comes to Bryce Dallas Howard, that was another one.
Yeah, excellent.
They're like, they're giving her they're giving an episode of Ahsoka. Give her a whole damn season of something.
But on the other hand, with her, she could be busy acting too.
That's true.
That's what's you got. Look, Deborah Chow's the director. Bryce Dallas Howard. Actress.
Doing both.
Doing both. So she's got to work her schedule.
She's busy, but I just think that she would want to. Because
I think
she's getting.
You talk about Deborah Chow.
Better.
Watching her in that gallery season, and we see it all the time on panels.
I agree with you.
You see actors and actors, especially directors, like, I've been a fan of this since I was a kid, and you just feel that's the line that their managers make sure you hit it with this crowd. Make sure you hit it.
Star Wars inspired me.
Yeah, but with her. You see it in her eyes. You're like, that's
it was the line
that's been it from the beginning.
Because it was the line that she said when she talked about that episode she did with Bo-Katan. Yeah. She's just like, we're just like playing with toys in a sandbox.
Yeah.
And you're like, okay. You
get it.
I get it. All right.
Yeah.
So here's the next one, and probably a lot of questions here. This is Chris Morris. Under or over 50%, you'll include this question. Over. All right. Alex Trene, do you think that we'll see Ben Kenobi's first interaction with Luke before the end of the series? first interaction with Luke? I'm sure that he's already interacted with him, I think.
Oh, that's an interesting question.
Yeah,
because
that's a good question.
We don't know if he has. We don't know if he handed him off, and now the first time we're seeing he's coming to visit and to see how he is, because we're clearly seeing him watch him from a distance.
And he's never met him.
Maybe he's never like
because Luke knows him in episode 4. He's like he knows who he is.
Well,
he knows him,
but he doesn't know he's his own. Like he knows him as like he's just this crazy hermit,
right? Well, he just says to him, he's just like, I wonder if he means old man, whatever he says to.
I wonder if he means old Ben.
Old Ben, right? Because he knows old Ben.
Yeah,
he knows him. Mm-hmm. So like the question is, how well does he know old Ben?
And does Owen like? I don't want you hanging out with that guy.
He's just a crazy old hermit. Whatever.
But what if he's like, I told you, like this where we meet, it's like, stop you. I don't want you over there.
Maybe
and stay away from my kid.
I think we're gonna see.
It's gonna be good.
We're gonna that's why they talked about. Or Kathleen Kennedy talked about how they originally intended this to be season 1, and now there's a potential season 2. It makes me nervous. That
you're nervous about this because you always said like just stand alone once and done.
I am because but the question is if there's still questions that are unanswered.
Yeah.
And there's still ways that they could loop together. The problem is that you got to get away from the Vader part of it.
That's the thing. You can't bring Vader back in season 2.
You can't bring Vader back again if you're gonna bring all these loops. And if it's separate adventures of Obi-Wan doing something else, and now going off what you're talking about with Owen, and you start to see that relationship go sour in season 2. Okay, then maybe I'd be convinced. But no more Vader. Again, and they're gonna be. And this is coming from somebody who said Vader needs to be in this one. He does. Yeah. But if you rely on it too much, that's when it starts to get sour.
I would have said 2 seasons if Vader wasn't in the first one.
Right.
If you were just establishing Obi-Wan, what he's doing.
Right.
Second season, we're bringing the big guy in.
Well, look at K2SO.
Can't do that.
He's not going to
reversed.
be in Andor, and Steph, remember you were bummed about that.
Bummed.
But now, but because he's going to be in season 2 or 3.
Yeah.
So and it's the setup of how he meets him and how he figures that out.
What do you think if they announce a Vader series?
I'd be so
pre New Hope, post Obi-Wan.
I would be
a Vader,
so on board
because Christensen's getting this renaissance.
Yeah. if you did like six episodes of Vader like him hunting down Jedi and right after he puts the mask on and going Lords of the Sith, they made that and the ratings through that show would be through the roof. But people would and you're going to get into the comments here. Oh, we don't need it. They're going to rely on Vader. You're full of shit if you don't think you watch that show. That's like Mike Tyson when he came. Mike Tyson today could fight anybody on the street. And you still pay to watch him fight. Of
course you would,
because it's Mike Tyson. Right? So just don't fight him on an airplane.
I'd see a Vader.
Oh my gosh!
What do you think? What are you doing? What are you doing?
What are you doing?
What do you think's going to happen?
What are you doing?
I said to Ellis,
I
said that guy who did that will win every party of, hey, what's the dumbest thing you ever did?
I got it. I got you.
Harold, tell him your story. Tell him the story. No, I don't want to tell it again. No, you have to. You have to tell
What is it? Like I threw up on a bus one time and a lady that got kicked off the bus.
I got you beat.
I got you.
I got you beat.
Yeah, no worries. No worries.
I got you beat.
Idiot.
Dumb.
Yeah. No, people would definitely watch it. And there's so much. I feel like Darth Vader's one of the most famous.
You want to know a show I never want to see?
Let Steph finish. Someone pointed
Here we go.
Someone pointed out in the comments. I really like Mike a lot. He cuts Steph and Kristian off every episode.
Do I?
Did you not see what you just did to her? She's in the middle of a point. She got two words out.
You know, they used to give me that crap on DC movie news with Roxy.
Oh, really?
I did that a lot. Yeah,
Maybe something
about
me makes you feel like
I don't believe that women should talk, and I feel like I have to cut them off. That's exactly.
Someone's going to clip that out.
Here we go. Here we go.
Now you're done.
White guy on talking Star Wars.
Now, just because I feel so bad at what Mike just did to you, just go ahead.
Oh, okay. I have the floor.
Yes.
Now let me try to remember what I was thinking.
You're talking about Vader and being Tyson.
Okay, yeah, Vader's one of the greatest characters ever, but there's still a lot. He pulled off a simple character, but there's so many questions that I always have when I watch Vader. Like, why are you this complicit? I know it's the way of the Sith, but I think that in the books you get a lot more information on that, but it's never really been as explored in live action, and I think he's the perfect character to do it through. I agree, and I think you get more of that tragedy with him, and I think that's what people are probably worried about, that you're going to take away the mystery from him, and people are probably also, oh great, and they're just going to turn him into what they did with Boba Fett, and I understand that you got to get the right director, you got to get the right people to do it, but I think that you absolutely could do a Vader series. That is a worry, that they're going to make him like Vader. Boba Fett, yeah. Let me ask you guys this. I got a question for the floor. What is a one series you never want to see? Like Jar Jar. I'll tell you what I want to see. The Jar Jar series. That's a given. Yeah. Well, for me, you want to know what I don't ever want to see? A Yoda series.
Never.
He's going to be in High Republic. I don't mind that.
I don't mind him as
I don't want to see.
I don't want a Yoda series.
And and it's funny because when they
don't want
when I'm with you. When Lucasfilm was bought by Disney, the big rumors that were going to happen was you're going to get a Han Solo movie, you're going to get a Boba Fett movie, and you're going to get a Yoda movie. Ugh. Those are the ones that came out, and it's like no.
A Yoda movie.
You don't need a Yoda movie.
No.
It's like, here's Yoda when he was young at 100 years old and learning how to do the thing. And now we know that he probably just started talking at 100 years old.
No, we have Grogu.
Yeah, but honestly though, Steph, that's probably one of the reasons why you won't see it because now you've got Grogu and you have these things. But I would like to see a young Yoda or younger Yoda. He's not so much younger, but a younger Yoda in the High Republic series that they do in Acolyte. You probably see him in Acolyte.
Well, the reason I say that because I could see them going, "Oh, Obi-Wan, we found out that time when he was by himself and made it great. Everyone loved it. Like, what's Yoda doing before Luke comes to on Dagobah where he's hiding? Let's tell that story." Nah.
He's chilling alone.
He's just chilling.
Yeah, but
he's watching Netflix.
Yeah. Obi-Wan was chilling alone too in the desert. But we're gonna get a great story because there's great. There's some exec like, what about Yoda? We'll have the puppets. We'll save money on that.
We haven't tapped into Yoda yet.
And he's Dagobah. We got a set. We got the volume. We can build a swamp. We'll have stormtroopers come to Dagobah. Yeah.
You use Yoda the same way that you use Luke.
Sparingly.
No, you use Luke in Mandalorian. You use Yoda. Once they should definitely use Yoda because and now that they're going to be using, you would assume, Palpatine, potentially Qui-Gon.
Yeah.
You got to use Yoda at some point, and they might even use Yoda
in Obi-Wan.
No. They might use him in Obi-Wan. Not necessary. Just even if he's talking to him, he could talk to him. Remember, he sent him there.
I know that.
He sent him there. So, like, if he's talking to him, fine. I don't even have a message, but I would much rather see him in action in Acolyte and other.
No, because I don't want him talking to Yoda because it lends when we meet Ben for the first time in New Hope. You just feel as this old man's been alone his whole he's just been out in the desert. Like he's not talking to Yoda like, "Hey man,
was talking to him.
I'm tired. What you up to, buddy?"
He clearly was talking to him from when you see you're going to go to the Dagobah system to and there you'll find Master Yoda when he tells them.
Yeah, but I don't want to they got weekly conversations checking in with each other on like Zoom. Yeah, they're zooming each other. Yeah,
I'm just saying that if he showed up, it wouldn't be it wouldn't be crazy that he did.
How did he get there?
Just saying, you didn't watch Rebels.
In
Rebels, he's able to communicate through not physically. He's able.
Oh, okay. I thought physically he showed up, and I was like, how the hell?
No,
he's
able to communicate to him. Like,
I know that.
How Rey and
I get that. But they use like technology
similar.
though. They use technology where Rey and Kylo don't have to.
Man, I guess I really should have watched all those shows.
You should watch Rebels before.
Rebels is really you should.
Rebels is great.
Or at least watch. I keep telling you this on Disney Plus. They have essential Clone Wars episodes, and like 20 of them
someone
are
gave
Obi-Wans.
Someone gave me a looper.com or something these are the essential Clone Wars episodes.
Okay.
I started watching them.
Yeah. All right, so let's get to
next question.
All right, here we go. Still on Facebook. We're probably not going to get to everybody's today because we talked about a lot of other stuff, which is great. Okay, so here is Harry Andrew. How long do you see The Mandalorian going for? I'm not sure that they said how many seasons to expect, but if they reclaim Mandalorian season 3, does the show have much more to do, or you can see them carrying on with stories such as Ahsoka? That's a good question too. How many?
That's a great question.
Maybe, and I don't think it's likely, but it's also possible that something like Mandalorian could announce how many seasons they're gonna. Because sometimes they do that. Sometimes they say, "Okay, our final season, we're gonna do season 5, like Stranger Things, for example. This is the second to last season. Ozark just announced their final season, so maybe they do at Celebration. Mandalorian will have season 3 come out, and then 4 will be the last.
Yeah,
I think 4 is enough for Mandalorian. I think that you can get past 3. It also depends on what's going to happen with Grogu. Where does Grogu go? I want them to assume. To start to establish the outer regions or the unknown regions, and they'll have to do it in Ahsoka, because once they do, the unknown regions can be a very.
Is that past the Outer Rim?
It's where Thrawn and Ezra in Rebels. Mm-hmm. It's where they are, and it's an explanation of where the hell they are during everything kind of going on afterwards too, and that can be an explanation for where Grogu is if he wind up fighting out in the unknown regions, because it's like, okay, and then you want to bring him back, because remember, Grogu, if they wanted to, in episode 10, if they ever did episode 10, if we were talking about in fantasy where Rey is 40 years old, Daisy Ridley's 40 years old, and Grogu comes back as a 100, 200 8-year-old young creature. Hell, man. Like, and where's he been? Well, he's been out there in the unknown regions fighting. There's a way to explain it.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Just saying, if you wanted to do it.
Do you guys think they're going to kill off Din?
I think Din eats it. I think Grogu survives.
To God he doesn't.
I think Grogu
Oh
survives.
my God, I can't even.
Yeah.
I can't even.
Because I'm thinking about this, and I always
I'm so
there's so many
attached.
different timelines that we are in with Star Wars. Like, is it this pre-Empire, post this and that? I was like, oh yeah, this is even before the new movies. We never see it. But again, it's a giant galaxy. Like, I want this show to go on for many more seasons. Like, I look at Daredevil, one of the best television we've ever seen, comic book movie wise. In 3 seasons, I'm still like, no, we needed more. And you can go on and on with those. You can go on and on. Like, I think
You want Din to, how many seasons do you want it to go? Because I think, to me, Din reminds me of Maximus from Gladiator. And I think that he's going to have the same kind of
I don't want him to.
I don't think Maximus.
Seeing him, and I think it was the first time we revealed his helmet, he was dead, gonna die.
Yeah.
And he heals him, right? That was it? He healed him early in the season. But he's finally pulls off the
IG-11
helmet.
helps him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I'm like,
88.
I just want this character to exist. I just want him to keep existing.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah, he's a great character.
I'd say if 6 episodes we're going for that, right? 8, they've been 8.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm going to have to do this
I say
again.
10 more
Go ahead.
seasons. I was talking.
Yeah, you were actually.
My time.
Listen,
I do not yield my time to the
Whole
floor.
show has been your time.
Filibustering. Well, I think that I'd be okay with 4 seasons, but I will say this. I think they've done the best job telling the politics of Mandalore than they ever have with any other planet. And I'm so interested in it. So if they find a way to pull off the new ruling of Mandalore, I would be invested for 10 seasons.
Well, that's also a
10
great point, though, too, because that's why I will say when it was Harry that asked the question, right? If they establish the reconnection of Mandalore and be able to, because then you can start to build out Mandalore as exactly what Steph is saying here, where you build it out season by season. You can go, because I don't know. I wonder how long. I think Bo-Katan's going to have a much bigger role.
Yeah, I hope so.
In this season. So,
going into the history of what I've been trying to catch up with, the Death Watch, they were kind of the zealots, the outer zealots.
Yeah. Because wasn't Bo-Katan part of them too?
Yeah,
She
and then
leads the
she
Death Watch.
swapped
She leads the Death Watch,
when they were gonna assassinate Satine.
right?
So
But she
they
was
rescued
she was an
Din.
extremist.
yeah, they were
She was.
extremists in this order that went off on like the moon, right, of Mandalore.
Yeah,
like,
and then
headed out on the moon.
But she came back around, and then in Rebels, that's why you really should watch Rebels. 'Cause it comes back around, and she starts to, and that's why they even address it, where she was given the saber.
Yeah.
She didn't win it in battle.
Bo-Katan's nephew, ancestor, who went crazy with the sword, right?
Well, that was a long time ago, but her niece is the one who gave her the saber. That's Sabine.
And the saber's cursed, essentially. Like whoever they feel it is, whoever has it, it's corrupted them and whatnot.
Yeah.
But so Sabine is
Bo's
Sabine
niece?
Bo's
niece? Isn't that the case? Or maybe not. Maybe I made that up.
They're family.
They're family.
I
Maybe
forget
they're
how
niece.
they're connected.
I thought you're right. I was wrong. It's not a niece.
the Mandalore history.
Her mom
is insane.
Yeah, no, Satine was not Sabine's daughter.
You know what I found out fascinating too, when I was doing like these deep dive research, that the Mandalore and all that and whatnot is Filoni. Like,
I mean, a lot of the stuff that he
of his stuff,
the
like
that he built out.
I go because I went to like, where did it start? You know, when did Mandalore come in? And I knew it wasn't with Boba Fett and Django and all them, but I was like, oh, it's really Filoni. The lore.
That's what Steph's talking about. Like he built it out tremendously, and I think that's why Favreau got so fascinated with it, because he was involved as a character.
He was pre-Vizsla.
Yeah, now he's basically playing one of his ancestors, in which I love. But anyway, so that's I do think that it'll go on for at least 4 seasons, and Mike and Steph could be right.
I want 10.
It could go on longer. Just for me, it's more so. It's how you connect the story, and if what is set up, we'll see at the end of this season.
Yeah.
Right. If they set up more.
You're right, though. The way to go is the Maximus death. You're 100% right. Storytelling wise, from a script, actor, storytelling, that's the way to go out.
Yeah, because what else is
I want him
unless
in the
they get him with
universe,
that. Remember they still could open up where he goes back to that woman from season 1.
Yeah.
He had that connection with her remember that village?
Oh, in the village.
Yeah.
And he lives a life of service.
Also could happen.
That's what I want. Getting a little action on the side.
I want him to
I want him to show up to her, helmet comes off.
I feel like that's gonna happen.
Come on, man.
I feel like that's gonna happen.
So then, if we ever need him, he's there on the planet.
That's what I mean. So
yeah,
it's possible.
That's
it's possible.
it.
All right, let's get to
I'm getting a boner here.
Enjoy the show, kids. All right, so now the next question here. This comes in from Ryan Rosmilia. Thoughts on the prophecy of the one who will bring balance to the Force actually being fulfilled with Anakin? At that time, the Jedi were the dominant force in the galaxy. Could the balance that was foretold actually have been to bring the dark side back into the fold? It is a thought that has always stuck with me. Stay classy, San Diego. I know it's hard for me to think. I try to be honest with you, I try to ignore the prophecy now because I think it's so muddled.
Yeah.
It's like who
The prophecy of who brings balance to the Force.
Yeah, because I think the new trilogy ruined it.
I think it did.
Yeah, the new trilogy ruined that because like is Rey the one who brought balance to the Force? Because
And
because
she's
clearly,
she ends up being a Skywalker.
and clearly Anakin didn't bring balance to the Force because
Thinking about
somehow Palpatine came back.
thinking about it again, the new trilogy, and there are things I do love in it, and characters I do love. But man, it's
a mess.
It really messed up everything.
It was a
didn't
mess. It was an absolute mess.
Just should have been Poe.
The TV shows are going to have a lot of work to do to try to fill in a lot of gaps, and that's what they've been trying to do already with the cloning stuff going on in Mandalorian and all that. They're going to be there's a ton of that they're going to do, ton of it. So Steph, any thoughts on the balance of the Force?
I don't know. I go back and forth on this one. I don't think that they even need to call to it anymore. I think that it's kind of outrun its time. Like this storyline, they've already kind of established that there's not one chosen one.
Yeah, no more. All right, let's get back to. I'm actually going to switch to Twitter here.
Oh,
and we have from Elias Martinez. Is there a chance that we're going to see Kenobi and Vader talk to one another? And I mean, like, have a full-on conversation regarding Kenobi's guilt or Anakin's anger. There's a lot to mine here for Kenobi as a character. I hope the show deals with these things with care and depth. I hope this will be the best show. I definitely think you'll see them talk.
So that's a great question for me because I'm like, okay, Obi-Wan leaves him.
Yeah,
he's dead
to burn his face off.
He's dead.
Yeah,
in his head, he's dead.
Yeah.
There's got to be that moment of, oh my God, yeah. There's got to be.
Yeah, I mean, but I also think that if they do it the right way, hey, remember me? But I think if they do that juxtaposition of going back and showing flashbacks of the two of them, like
building their brothers,
showing young Hayden and Ewan McGregor in TV Clone Wars. Oh my God, a flashback! And then combining that to their scene, I think you're going to get a full on episode of Anakin and Obi-Wan, and then
snips.
Vader. Yeah, and then that would be crazy if Ahsoka shows up in one of those. I don't think so.
Look who you're talking to.
Listen, sometimes
do you know Sky Guy? Stupid name, Sky Guy.
Yeah, it wasn't great.
But so think about the first opening of Rise of Revenge of the Sith.
Yes,
the two of them going on Grievous' ship. That's awesome.
Yeah,
how they're referencing the stuff in the past, that this and that is like that. We got to see an episode of that.
Yes, and the thing that I'd want to see more of though is that even though it's great to have them together in those moments in Sith, it's bogged down by all the CGI and all the bots and everything too. Like to have
they were still the heart of it.
And as I was talking about, like the most recent episode of like Moon Knight, right?
Yeah.
Like so, Moon Knight is
no spoilers.
No spoilers, but it's all infused with like story and acting and no big. I mean, there's some set pieces and
you're
things
talking
too.
about last night's episode.
Yes.
Okay.
And so that is the type of stuff that I want to see with these two characters. Like just dive deep and let's get to the raw emotion of everything you just talked about and how they were left. So, Steph, do you think that there's going to be a conversation between the two of them for sure?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. There's just no way. I feel like that's going to be multiple episodes of conversations.
Multiple episodes? It only got 6.
I know, but I think like 2, maybe 3, at least flashbacks intertwined.
Yeah. How long do we think these episodes are going to be?
45.
They got to give us
I hope
an hour and 5.
Each one?
I don't know. No,
I hope at least
Marvel
45.
skews on the longer side. Well, Disney goes short.
Yeah,
they
do.
short us.
But they had longer, but there's more episodes. Like how many episodes was Boba? Was that
8?
8? And Boba had a few towards the end that were long.
Yeah.
I think with 6 episodes, I think we get between 45 to 52.
And you got to remember that when the little Disney thing comes on 52 minutes, that's still like 3 minutes of credits.
Yeah, there's credits plus the end. So but I would say between 45 and 52 each one. Mm-hmm. And I would be,
I'll say 45 of story.
I hope
sans
right.
credits.
I hope you're right. Yeah, because with Obi-Wan, you put 30-minute episodes out of just 6 episodes, people are gonna.
There's got to be a giant reveal of them because and we have to know the history of Vader. He's hunting the Jedi now, and this and that. So who's this guy?
Well, and his relationship with the Inquisitors. Because the other thing that they have to do.
Established?
Yes, the other thing that they have to do.
Oh boy.
That as Ewan McGregor was talking about with combining everything, not only that they combine the prequels with original trilogy, they also have to. You're a Star Wars fan and you haven't watched Rebels, right? There are people that are, and I remember Star Wars fans, like a Star Wars hardcore fan who does a show every week. There are people who are just going to tune in for Obi-Wan who have no idea who the Inquisitors are.
And it's got to be palpable to them.
You got to explain who are they?
Yep.
Because we know that who the Grand Inquisitor is, but John Pinto doesn't know who
I'll
the
say
Grand
this,
Inquisitor is.
and it's as much flack as I am giving Moon Knight because I'm a diehard Moon Knight fan.
Yeah.
They are making it very palpable. 40 years of character, there's never been a definitive arc on this guy, but they're making it so casual fans can watch this and love the hell out of it.
Wait until you see this episode.
So they are doing such a good job of that, and I think, given the talent involved, they will reward the fans, the hardcore fans, but also make it for people that have no idea who this Inquisitor is. Make it not what is going on here?
Right. You introduce this new character to them.
Yes.
But I want to feel about a Star Wars episode of television the way that I felt about Moon Knight.
Now I got to watch this episode.
Because I will tell you, Moon Knight to me was only something that I had heard about through John Schnapp back in the day. He told me about it, and Robert Myburnett. They would talk about it. They would talk about it all the time, and they said it needs to be something. It was before streaming, so they wanted a movie, obviously. So, and then once the trailer came out, I was on board, and then I've been locked into this character. And the emotions that this episode took me through while watching it, I was like, "Oh man, that's just great television."
Yeah.
And Star Wars has had, and Mandalorian's had some great episodes, but I want a show, and Obi-Wan could do that to knock me off my ass.
You want the emotionality in it.
Yeah. And
it was an hour.
It's close to about 50 minutes. Yeah.
Okay.
To me, it was the best episode of Marvel ever done.
See, for me, that's why I'm to this day still feeling, out of all the great streaming stuff we've got of everything, Daredevil. So many episodes where he's not even in the suit, and it's just him with Claire having a conversation.
Right.
Just you feel the actors and emotionality of it. So
you tear up when
come on now,
anything.
I tear up at everything.
You're going to cry 12 times during this episode.
We'll see, because I have not been a fan of the show so far.
It'll get you on
and
board.
I will eat my words and put my foot in my mouth.
What I will say about you is that you are not one of those people that stick by your guns and go, "Oh, if I hate it, I hate it."
Thank you.
No, you really aren't.
Thank you.
And if I feel, because I know you well enough, I feel that this episode is going to kick your ass.
Oh, I hope.
And I've said very much to everyone, I didn't like this, but I can see why people do.
Yeah.
Or I do like what they're doing with this. Because, again, this is something that's a character I'm invested in.
Right.
That I've loved for so long. But I know 90% of the people don't know who this guy is.
Well, but that's why I'm curious if they're able to do that. But let's do
Obi-Wan.
Let's do one. Let's do one last one here, and then we'll call it a day. This is again from Twitter, and let's see. This is from Ryan at Ryan Skywalker. What do you want from Hayden Christensen inclusion in Ahsoka? Several episodes and full conversations, something more minimal. I think I lean somewhere in the middle. A few good conversations and closure moments with the two of them, but not overbearing. Well, this is why I think that it's going to be so important for the celebration side of it, to where I think we'll learn a little bit more about what his role is.
Yeah.
Especially, and I think that's another reason why to realize that by episode 2 of Obi-Wan, when it airs on that Friday of celebration, you would assume you're going to get some version of Vader in the first 2 episodes. You would assume.
Yeah.
Maybe.
You're assuming.
But with the inclusion of him in the episode, and then to say everyone's going to be talking about it, and then if they then bring up the Ahsoka panel, and then they talk about what his role is going to be now in Ahsoka, I would like to see, I think Force Ghost, because you hear him in Rise of Skywalker.
Yeah.
You hear him briefly, and he seems, and when you listen to his lines when he's talking to Rey, he's very calm and he's very chill, and he's talking about, more so about do what he, the stuff that he had to go through and the lines that he did to her, and to get there and where he is after the balance, I guess, that Luke brought to him. I would like to see those types of conversations and a flashback of them in the Clone Wars area. Steph, what do you think?
Yeah, this is also another one of my favorite relationships, and it was really heartbreaking. I definitely think we're going to get multiple conversations because it builds out Ahsoka's character and it connects her to the greater universe in a way that if you didn't watch the animated shows, you would be like, oh, she's really important. I need to know why she's connected to Anakin in this way.
I'm confused. Do we know the timeline of Ahsoka this series?
Yeah. So It takes place for what Filoni rumored is so at the very end of Rebels.
Right.
They start to go off on this path of where Sabine and Ahsoka are off looking for Ezra and Thrawn, who are out in the outer regions, who got kind of sucked into this warp.
Yeah.
So they got to go find them. So the scene in Mandalorian where she's looking for Thrawn apparently is right before that in Rebels, and then that leads into that scene that we see in Rebels.
So it's kind of a connection of Rebels.
Yeah,
it's the next
It's
Rebels.
all pre-New Hope.
Oh, it's after Jedi. Yeah, it's after the events that samurai episode in
Right.
Mandalorian. It's after those events.
Okay, so Hayden's dead.
He's a Force ghost. Mm-hmm. That's what I mean.
He's Force. So that's you. So you
I'm
think we're
talking
getting
about
Force Ghost stuff with her? Not we're gonna see like we see hope to see an Obi-Wan prequel, pre-New Hope.
I think that you could get both, or you could
Okay.
get either.
Okay,
You could get both or either.
I was completely taken off by the Force Ghost
Yeah.
stuff. So you think the two of them? Because I want to see. Because that weight had so much weight to me. It's like, oh, you're so much like your father to
Yeah.
Luke. That moment, like, that's awesome.
Yeah. So
Yeah, I think they'll have her in an episode of Obi-Wan, and hopefully she might be.
You
in
think
a clone,
Ahsoka's gonna be in
maybe
Obi-Wan?
in a Clone War type
Flashback.
war scene flashback, just so you establish their connection.
to
it
make
could
her
be like 2
significantly younger,
seconds.
though.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, and then when she comes back for her series, and then you see Anakin Force ghosting, it will make it a lot more powerful.
how crazy
What
would
if
that
they-
be to make like a 20-year-old like Rosario Dawson?
Oh, but
So
what if they?
cool.
But what if they just
Yeah.
get a different actress?
No, I
They
think
don't
a younger.
need to
You don't need
because
to
of
anymore.
all the-
I don't
Yeah.
care.
You
of
don't
all
need to
the,
anymore.
the
Yeah.
But
makeup
isn't she
that
a lot
has to
shorter
wear?
too? She's like she'd be
I don't think
shorter.
you can film that way.
Because
Not
in,
too much.
in the
I mean, how
Clone
much
Wars
shorter
movie,
are you? How much?
but in
shorter
Clone
are you
Wars
10
movie,
years ago?
she's tiny in that
Yeah,
movie.
but
She's
again,
small.
that's going back to the Inquisitor
Because Anakin's
conversation.
also so
And
tall.
You can change things up a little bit with height and things.
You
too.
gotta, but that was, and love or hate the Clone Wars movie because that's what I do know of the
Yeah.
Clone Wars up at that point. She was a kid
Yeah.
to him.
Yeah.
And he's a kid, so
Yeah.
he's younger. Like if you're going that time,
Well,
he ain't pulling a
it's
young
interesting.
Rosario
Look,
Dawson
This,
de-aging
this
her
is
to a
why.
kid.
This is why I love the questions that come
I'm
out.
totally
and the
okay
things-
with a
we
young
have-
actress.
We have so much coming out, guys. So anyway, this was the show. It was me. It was Steph. It was Mike.
was
Got a
us.
lot to talk about. Upcoming, I should have some more news about Celebration. There's going to be more Celebration stuff as we get into May. This is the last episode in April. May is going to be very, very strong. I think is May 4th. Then our next episode is that Wednesday, May 4th, which would be amazing.
Yeah.
Is it actually?
Hey.
Okay. So actually, you know what's gonna be stupid, Steph? We're gonna wind up doing the same thing. We're gonna wind up recording our episode next week.
Yeah.
And then all this news is either gonna break during the show or right afterwards.
That'll be
So-
fun though.
Yeah, as long as it happens during the show.
Yeah.
Should
But
we push an hour maybe?
Maybe. Anyway, okay, look.
Focus May
Thank you guys
4th.
for joining us. We appreciate you, and we'll see you on the next run. It's Sith Council.
I can feel your anger. It gives you focus, makes you stronger.